The first exercise in the body weight conditioning for the midsection series is the abdominal crunch. You're going to lie flat on your back, pull your feet close to you, and now your hands are going to be with the palms just beneath the knees. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to slide your hands up, keeping your lower back pressed into the ground. So slide so that your wrists go past the knees, and then inhale down. At no point should you try to jerk the movement, but you should be slow and controlled. Exhale, inhale. Close the ribs, open the ribs. Close the ribs, open the ribs. Close, open. That's the abdominal crunch. The next exercise in the abdominal series and midsection is the crossover crunch. You're going to lie flat and cross one foot over the other. The rear hand is going to be behind your head. Now as you exhale, you're going to reach up and over, touching your elbow to the outside of the knee. And inhale. This works the external and internal oblique. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. For all of these exercises, you're going to be doing 10 to 15 repetitions. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So that's the crossover knee to elbow. The next exercise in the midsection series is alternating elbow to knee. You're going to start with your legs straight, hands behind the head. You're going to bring the knee in, elbow to knee, and release. Other side, elbow to knee, and release. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Alternating elbow to knee crunch. The next midsection exercise is the 90-degree crunch. Lie flat on your back, cross your feet, keep your knees at about 90 degrees, elbows wide, inhale. As you exhale, sit up. Inhale, exhale. Keep the lower back flat to the ground. You really be feeling this right in the upper part of your abdominals. That's the 90-degree crunch. The next midsection exercise is bicycle kicks. You're going to lie flat, hands supporting your neck, and bicycle. And you're going to hold this movement. You're going to do this exercise for 30 to 60 seconds, continuing to bicycle, nice and smooth. You're going to work the upper as well as the lower abdominals here. So that's the bicycle kick. Next exercise is bicycle kick with lateral elbow crunch. So start your bicycle kick and then start crunching side to side, touching your elbow to your knee. Tremendous exercise for your oblique muscles. So that's the bicycle kicking with the lateral elbow crunch, or you can just call it twisting bicycle kicks. The next exercise in the midsection series is lateral reach unders. You're going to lie flat, raise your head off the ground, and then you're going to be twisting, reaching underneath your legs and touching the opposite calf. So reach, touch your calf, reach, touch your calf. Back and forth. You're going to feel a really strong contraction in your obliques here. It's a great exercise. The next midsection exercise is called feet to ceiling. You're going to lie flat and bring your palms just underneath the hips here. Cross the feet, and now you're going to lift the hips off the ground, point the heels towards the ceiling, and you want to be nice and controlled here, working the lower abs. Exhale as you raise, inhale down. That's feet to ceiling for the lower abdominals. The next exercise works the lower abdominals as well as the internal and external obliques on the side of the abdominal wall. This is twisting feet to ceiling. Have your hands underneath your hips. You're going to raise your feet towards the ceiling by lifting your hips off the ground. And as you do so, you're going to twist your lower body. So, twist and down. Other side, twist and down. Twisting feet to ceiling. The next exercise is called toe touches. You're going to bring your feet straight up, and then you're going to hold it there. From here, you're going to raise up the upper shoulders, keeping your lower back on the ground, and you're going to touch your toes. Reach and down. Reach and down. Reach. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Lying toe touches. Now we have twisting knee to floor. This is primarily to work the lateral portion of your abdominals, called the external obliques. Your feet are at 90 degrees. Your arms are out to your sides. You're going to let your knees drop to one side, and then you're going to use your oblique muscles to pull back to center. Other side, twist and pull. Twist and pull. Twisting knees to floor. The next exercise is a more advanced oblique exercise. This is called lateral leg raises. You're going to have your hands out to the side, and you're going to have your feet up so your legs are vertically aligned here. Now you're going to drop your feet to one side laterally, and it's really going to stretch the obliques here. And then you're going to use the obliques to pull your legs back up. Now you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Lateral leg raise. Inhale down. Exhale up. Keep your shoulders on the ground. Inhale down. Exhale up. Lateral leg raises. The next exercise works the entire front side of your abdomen, the upper as well as the lower portions. This is called leg raises. And you're going to start by pulling your toes all the way behind your head, touching, and then slowly lower the legs. Just let your heels barely touch and come up. Inhale, exhale, slowly rolling one vertebrae at a time. Those are leg raises. The next exercise is called circular leg raises. So you're going to lie flat on your back, although instead of just coming back and forward, you're going to circle your legs all the way around your body. Hands down by your hips. You're going to raise your legs, and then you're going to circle all the way around back to center. Come up all the way around back to center. So you're adding the oblique angle as well as the frontal part of your abdomen. And you change directions. Inhale as you come behind. Exhale as you lower. Circular leg raises. Now we have an isometric holding position, which is going to work the entire portion of the rectus abdominis, which is commonly called the six-pack muscles. So the upper, middle, as well as lower portion of the rectus abdominis. Hands are going to be supported, so you're going to lift your hips, keep your hands under to support the lower back, and then you're going to raise the foot and you're going to hold it at 6 inches. This is going to be a timed hold, so you want to start with 30 seconds, work up to a minute or longer. You can raise up to 12 inches and hold that position. This is a leg raise and hold. The next exercise combines the leg raise with a dynamic component. This is called the scissor kick. Lie flat, support your lower back, point your toes and raise the feet about 6 inches up off the ground, hold it, and now you're going to start kicking up and down like a scissors. Nice and controlled. And you're going to do this for about a minute, and you can work up to 3 minutes to build your endurance and strength in the lower abdomen. The next exercise is another variation of the leg raise and hold, except this time you're moving right to left in a scissor action. So this is also going to be working across the front, the transverse abdominis, which ties in the abdomen laterally on the deep layer musculature, underneath the outer layer. Support your spine. Raise your head. Raise your feet about 6 inches. Hold. Now start scissoring. One leg, then the other, switching each time. So this is lateral scissor done with a leg hold. Now we have a jackknife sit-up, and we're going to do this with 2 variations. The first variation is you're going to lie flat, feet together, and point your toes. Hands are going to just come to the lap. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to fold in half at the abdomen, and you're going to touch your toes And then you're going to come back down, but don't let your feet touch the ground. So it's up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's the jackknife sit-up version 1. Now we're going to do a slightly more advanced version of the jackknife sit-up. You're going to increase the lever arm by starting with your hands all the way over your head. Now as you do the jackknife, you're going to touch your toes and then bring your hands back to the fully extended position. So jackknife and all the way back. So that's the extended jackknife position. The next exercise is an alternating jackknife. And if you have any lower back injury, this is going to be a better option for you than raising the jackknife with both legs. So you're going to alternate which leg that you raise. And as you raise your leg, your hands are going to come and slap the top of your foot. So it's 1 and down, 2 and down. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Notice that the hands and feet raise and lower at the same time. That's the alternating jackknife. Now we have the alternating knees to chest. Put your hands forward to support your body so that you're not leaning too far back. And then you're going to alternate knee to chest, just like you're running in place. It's working the abdominal muscles, the center part of your abdominals, the rectus abdominis. It's alternating knees to chest. Now we have the double knees to chest. This is a very explosive, fast contraction. Exhale, inhale. Double knees to chest. Now we're going to be working on the lateral portion of the abdominals, which are the oblique muscles. You're going to lie sideways. This bottom hand is going to be supporting you for balance. The top hand is just behind the head. And as you exhale, you're going to lift the upper body and try to bring that elbow right towards the hip and down. Exhale, contract. Inhale, lower. So you get a very strong contraction along the entire side of the body. So this is lateral sit-up. The next exercise is also working the obliques, but this is lifting the lower body only. So this is the low lateral leg raise. Support your head, raise the feet, and lower. Just barely touch the foot and back up. Lift and drop. Lift and drop. Lift and drop. You really be feeling this in the lower part of the obliques. Lift and drop. Low lateral leg raise. The next exercise ties the previous two exercises together, where you're going to be raising the upper and the lower body simultaneously, working the entire upper, mid, and lower part of the lateral portion of your body. Raise the legs, raise the arms, and down. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. That's the upper and lower lateral raise. Now we're going to be working the entire side of the body again, but this is in a more isometric fashion. So you're going to be holding the position, and you're going to be holding this for time. This is the lateral plank, holding for time. Put the top hand on the hips, the rear hand, elbow is about a 90-degree angle. You're going to come up, lift the hips off the ground, and hold this plank position for time. This is tight. This is tight. Now, to make this more challenging, raise that top foot so that you have less stability and you have to work even harder to hold the position. So this is a side plank holding for time. The next exercise is a dynamic side plank. So your arms at a 90-degree angle, hands on your hips. You're going to raise and lower dynamically. So up, down, up, down. You should be feeling it primarily in the underside of your body. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. Dynamic side plank. Now we have a dynamic V-sit. This is an excellent exercise for any type of contact athlete, be it rugby, football, full contact martial arts, grappling, anything where there's an opportunity that you're going to get punishment or you're going to be absorbing contact to your body. So you put your legs in a V, and then you're going to sit back with your arms spread out wide. As you exhale, you're going to come together and slam your forearms together. And then you're going to violently slap the mat. And then you come up. So it's inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. That's the dynamic V-sit. Now we have a front plank, which is an isometric contraction for the entire abdominal wall. You want to make sure in the front plank that you do not allow excessive lumbar curve. Instead, you're going to have a rounded quality and a contraction to the abdomen. So have your hands about shoulder width, be on the balls of the feet, and then crunch your abdominals. And you're going to hold this position. This is something you want to hold for at least a minute, working up to 3 to 5 minutes or even longer. Have most of your weight on your upper body, not back. Slightly forward in a front plank position. That's the front plank. Now we have another isometric contraction for the midsection. This is called the L-sit. You can do the L-sit with palms, fingertips, or knuckles. And you're going to have your feet together. You want your body to not lean back, but to be upright. Lift your hips off the floor, raise your feet, and hold. Same thing from the front angle. Your entire body should be contracting here. So, fingers pointing forward, lift your hips off the ground, and raise your feet and hold. This is the L-sit done for time. This next one is a tremendous exercise for strengthening and contracting the abdominals in extension. This is called the ab slide, and it's done from the knees. Often this is done with an abdominal wheel, but if you don't have a wheel, you can simply use a towel or any surface or any material that's going to slide. So you have your weight on your palms and on your knees. You're going to inhale, slide your upper body out. And then exhale, pull with your abdominals and pull back to the start position. Inhale, slide out. Exhale, slide back. Inhale, slide out. Exhale, slide back. That's the kneeling abdominal slide. Now we have one of the most challenging abdominal exercises that you can do. This is the standing abdominal slide. And again, it can be done with a wheel or even a barbell rolling out and rolling back. But if you don't have that handy, you can always use a towel. One of the benefits of doing it with a towel is that you can do it at anywhere that you are. You can do it in the hotel, in the office, at home. You don't need any special equipment. This is a very advanced exercise, so you want to make sure that you're very comfortable doing the kneeling version before you try this. Key point here is that you have to keep your abdominals and in particular your butt muscles very tight so that you don't get the arch into the lower back. This can really injure your back if you let your butt become too loose. Okay, so really squeeze and protect everything. You're going to fold down, put your palms on the towel, inhale as you slide out, and then you're going to slide back. This is not the most slick surface, so you sort of have to do it in stages. Come down, slide out, and slide back. If you have a wheel, it's going to be a lot smoother, so it's not so jerky. And another option is to do it on a slick floor like a linoleum floor where there's a smooth transfer. That's the standing abdominal slide. Another great midsection exercise for the upper, mid, and lower abdominals is the upside down jackknife. And this is actually done while standing on your head. So first you want to be comfortable being able to balance yourself in a headstand. You're going to set your hands slightly wider than shoulders. Put the top of head on the floor. Lift up onto the toes. And you balance on a teapot. Elbow on knee. Elbow on knee. Come up into a headstand. Now you're going to fold at your hips. Fold. Let your toes come just down to lightly touch the floor. And then pull back up into a headstand. Down. And up. Don't go too far back to where you fall over. Down. Touch and up. Down. And up. Back down. That's the upside down jackknife. No midsection training program would be complete without giving equal attention to the lower back. So thus far we've been focusing on the abdominals, the frontal as well as the medial and lateral obliques. Now we're going to be giving a lot of attention to the lower back here. The first exercise in this series is going to be lying prone or on your belly, and you're going to be doing upper body raises. These are also called trunk hyperextensions. So lie flat, and then from here you want to make sure that you don't feel any stress in your shoulders. So don't have your hands directly overhead. Have them at about 45 degrees off the shoulder. Or you can have your hands interlaced behind your head. A third option is to let your hands come down low. From here, you're going to raise the entire upper body off the ground. So as you inhale, raise the upper body, lift, leading with the eyes. Look at the ceiling, squeeze the butt, and release. Inhale up, exhale down. Another option, hand behind the head, inhale up, exhale down, or hands down low, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. So that's trunk hyperextension, and like with all the other midsection exercises, you're going to exercise somewhere in the 8 to 15 repetition range per exercise. The next exercise for the midsection is reverse hyperextension. And again, you're going to lie prone on your belly, have your hands out in front, and this time, as you inhale, you're going to raise the entire lower body. So raise up and down. You can have your hands out to your sides, up and down. You can have your hands down, up and down, up and down, up. You should really be feeling the strengthening here in your lower back and down. That's the reverse hyperextension. The next exercise works the entire back, and this is called Superman, or it might be called Superwoman. You're going to raise the upper and lower body simultaneously. Lie flat on your belly, arms out, arms behind, or arms down. As you inhale, you're going to raise your entire body, upper and lower. Raise up, look up at the ceiling, arch, hold it for a second, and release. Up, and release. You can have your hands behind your head, up, and down. Or hands down by your sides, up, down, up, and down. So that's called the Superman or the Superwoman exercise. The next exercise for the lower back is called contralateral hyperextensions. So this time you're going to raise one arm and the opposite leg, and you're going to arch the body as high as you can. So raise right arm, left leg, and down, and the other side, and down. Up, down, up, down. This is working the cross fibers of the lower back. So you're crossing from one side to the other. That's the contralateral hyperextensions. At this point, your lower back should be very warm, so we're going to go a little bit deeper into the lower back series. This first exercise is called the arms under single leg raise. You're going to put your pinkies together like this, touching the inside of the hand, and you're going to put those underneath your belly. So it looks like this. Hands here, and then you're going to raise, put the other hand together, and you're going to lie just like this on both of your hands. At this point, your elbows are under your belly. From here, you're going to raise one leg and lift it as high as you can. Hold and bring it back down. Raise the other leg, lift it as high as you can. Hold and bring it back down. At no point should your hips lift from your arms. So again, you're going to have your hands just like this together, arms straight, so that your palms are touching, your pinkies are touching each other, and your elbows are underneath your body. You're going to raise, keep your feet together, raise one leg as high as you can, feel the stretch in your lower back, and bring it down. Raise the other leg as high as you can, feel the stretch, and bring it down. That's the arms under single leg raise. Now this next one is the most challenging lower back exercise so far. This is the arms under double leg raise. So you're going to have the same hand position as you had previously. Arms are straight, the pinkies are together, and the palms are flat. Now once you're in this position, you're going to put your mouth straight down on top of, straight down towards the floor so that you don't strain your neck. At this point, you're going to shift all your weight onto your palms. You're going to keep your feet together and you're going to raise your lower body as high as you can. Hold the position and down. Show you from the side angle. Pinkies together. Reach down as far as you can. Keep your elbows straight. Bring the feet together. Put your face down into the mat. And raise your lower body as high as you can. And down. You should feel a very deep stretch and strengthening in your lower body. That's the arms together, double leg raise. Now we're going to do another one that's going to work the entire spine from the top of the neck all the way down to the tailbone. You're going to lie on your belly and you're going to grab the ankles and arch. So you're forming a U shape with your body. From here, fold in, grab your ankle below the foot at the top part of the ankle. Now from here, as you inhale, you're going to lead with your eyes looking up at the ceiling and pull up on your legs simultaneously. So up and stretch and hold this position. Lift higher and higher and higher and down. So that's a tremendous stretch and strengthening movement for your whole spine. That's the grab, ankles, and arch. The next exercise is also going to work the entire spine from the neck all the way down to the tailbone. This will be done kneeling. And you're going to place one hand over your lower back and the other hand over your lower back. And then you're going to look up. And this is a rear arching movement. You're going to look up and back and really arch and arch and arch, trying to trace your eyes down the wall behind you. And hold this position, breathing deep. You want to make sure you're nice and warm before you attempt this rear arching movement. The next exercise is called the scorpion. And this is going to work the flexibility as well as the strength of the lower back. So we're really focusing on this area here like you have a belt. So you're stretching all the way across the lower back on both sides. You're going to lie flat on your belly in a prone position. Have your hands out to the side like you're doing a T. Now you're going to raise one leg completely up off the ground. And then you're going to take that leg and reach it across to your opposite side, trying to touch in line with my fingers. So not down here, but all the way in line with my fingers. And I can even touch my hand. And then I pick the foot up and bring it back down. And I do the same thing on the other side. lift the entire leg off the ground, reach all the way around, touch the hand, lift it up, and back. Try to keep the shoulders flat to the ground here. So up and touch. Back to center. Up and touch. Back to center. Again, from here, reach up and across. Pick it up, place it down. Up and across. Pick it up, place it down. Up and down. Up and down. So that's the scorpion. After you do this, you should feel like your lower back is really nice and loose.